So this simple thing people have not handled from their childhood. So when you don't handle this one thing, everything will be wrong, everything will be accidental.
So what do you say to someone, maybe they're 30 years old, and they've had this life of mistakes and regret and maybe alcoholism or gambling or some other problems, but they want to be conscious, they want to be blissful, they want to be enlightened, they want to be a happy person, filled with love. What path do they take?
Right now, there is one little screw here in this furniture. I will ask you, you're a strong guy, I will ask you to unscrew this with your hands.
Can't do it.
You do it, you may lose all your nails, I'll allow you to use your teeth, maybe you lose some of them
It's gonna be a problem.
but it'll be right there.
But if
I give you a screwdriver, boom,
I can do it easy.
in a minute you'll get it
Yes.
out. So
Right.
this is the power of the tool.
Yes.
So as there are tools for doing things in the external world, there are tools to handle this.
What are those tools? This is all very like mystical
No,
difficult for people to grasp.
There are mystical aspects also,
Okay.
but that is not for everybody.
But I mean,
That is
this conversation
only for those who are interested in those things, who want to pursue that aspect. For the rest of the people, for somebody, if their backache goes away, his life changes. For somebody, if his headache goes away, his life changes.
Yes.
Somebody drops his alcohol consumption, addiction, his life changes.
Yes.
Somebody, some compulsive thought that maybe drives him crazy, if that goes away. These are simple things. This is just a small screwdriver is all he needs, he doesn't need a total overhaul. Mysticism is a different aspect. It is like you're not just interested in living well, you want to know the very root of life.
Yes.
That's a different aspect, that's not for everybody. That is only for those who seek that. But for common people, all they want to do is they want to live peacefully, joyfully, with some sense of purpose to whatever they're doing in their lives. Today, we've come to this place where if you want to be peaceful, you need a chemical. You want to be joyful, you need a chemical. You want to be healthful, you need a chemical. Well, you want to be ecstatic, of course there is a chemical.
Right.
So, what is the consequence of this? Why this is happening? One thing is, in this generation, one thing that's happened in people's minds is, the heaven has collapsed in people's minds. See, I've been talking to people. 50 years ago, if I spoke to people and I asked how many of you want to go to heaven, almost 80% would raise their hands. Today, you go to your university and ask them, how many of you want to go to heaven? They'll say, they think it's a ridiculous question, all right? Nobody will raise their hand. So in their minds, heaven has collapsed, there's no place to go. So they want to do it everything here, all right?
I see.
So they have not found how to be joyful and ecstatic within themselves. If you do not raise human consciousness, if you do not teach people how to sit here feeling absolutely blissed out within yourself by your own nature, because this human mechanism is the most sophisticated chemical factory. If you are a good CEO, you would produce the chemicals that will give you fantastic experience. If you're a lousy CEO, you're giving yourself a bad experience.
Yes.
Now you're buying chemicals from outside to fix that, all right? So essentially, you're a bad manager of your own system. You're not taken charge of this. Why has that happened? Because your education, your society is talking about conquering the world, but never taught you anything about how to take charge of this. There's so much technology here. In this room, the most complex and sophisticated technology is within your system. Heaven has collapsed in people's mind, which is a good thing, because…
It's a good thing?
It is because the idea that this is not the place to live well, there is
Right.
another place where you will live well,
Right, I
is a
see.
wrong idea.
Right.
This is the place to live well.
You can have heaven right here.
Yes. And who told you you're not already in heaven and making a mess out of it?
So in your mind, this concept of heaven relates to like a harmony amongst yourself, and the people, the living things around you,
No.
including the soil.
See, essentially it's like this. So, to create pleasantness in the surroundings, we need the cooperation of people and forces around us. Without everybody's cooperation, you can't create a pleasant atmosphere. But pleasantness of the body, pleasantness of the mind, pleasantness of emotion and energy is 100% your business, isn't it? What happens in your mind, your emotion, your chemistry, your energies must be your way, isn't it?
It is yours, yes.
It is yours, so it must be your way. But it's not happening your way right now because it's in a compulsive reactive state. Anybody can cause anything within you. So if I decide what clothes you must wear, what food you must eat, what you should do every day, you will call this slavery, isn't it? Right now, someone else, something else can decide what happens within you. Isn't this the most horrible form of slavery? That someone can decide whether you are happy or unhappy.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not the best path.
So the problem is just this, an intelligence which needs to be conscious is unfortunately unconscious and compulsive. So the only problem that you have is compulsive reaction to life around you. What is needed is a conscious response to life. So this simple thing people have not handled from their childhood.
Right.
So when you don't handle this one thing, everything will be wrong, everything will be accidental. Your success and failure both are accidental. Why is it, though human beings are not the strongest creatures on the planet compared to other species, why is it the human beings are dominating this world? Simply because of our ability to use tools, isn't it?
And our intellect, our ability to manipulate our environment.
Yes, but even then, if we didn't have knowledge of using tools,
right.
The buffaloes would have mowed us down, all right. There are tools for doing things in the external world. There are tools to handle this. Because you don't have a toolkit, this machine, which is the most complex machine, is going crazy. You just use the tools, don't worry about the philosophy, don't worry about belief system, don't worry about your concept, somebody's concepts, your beliefs, somebody's beliefs. Just use the necessary tools. Being peaceful, joyful, loving is a natural outcome of that. Because the only reason is, it has worked. What is it that's worked? I did not teach them a morality, I did not teach them a philosophy, I did not promise them miracles, I did not pull gold chains out of thin air and give it to them. No, nothing. Simply tools to fix themselves. How to sit, how to breathe, how to manage yourself, this is all.
Yes.
Our nose is located right above our mouth. Suppose you don't brush your teeth for 3 days. Though this nose is right here, it won't tell you you have not brushed your teeth. The whole room will know you have not brushed your teeth, but you will not know. This is the human predicament. It's very easy to see what's wrong with this guy, what's wrong with her, what's wrong with her. Takes a lot of observation to see what's wrong with this. That level of keenness of observation is missing in most people. They need to cultivate that. We are the most comfortable generation ever in the history of humanity, no question about it, isn't it?
Yes.
We are super empowered because of this science and technology. As there is a science and technology for our external well-being, there is a whole science and technology for inner well-being. Unfortunately, most cultures have ignored this and thinking that if we make all the external arrangements well, everything will be okay. United States of America is a huge statement that this is not how it works. The most affluent country on the planet, 70% of the population are supposed to be on prescription medication. So pain is a good thing physically, because that is your self-preservation mechanism. But suffering is something that you do in your mind. So pain that happens in your body, you take it in your mind and multiply it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times, depending on how capable you are or how stupid you are, and suffer it 1,000,000 times over. Right now, most human beings are like this. What happened 10 years ago, they can still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. They are not suffering life, they think they're suffering life. They are suffering the two most fantastic faculties that human beings alone have, a vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination.